Welcome to Mile High Homeschool. My name is Megan. If you're new here, I'm a second generation homeschooler and I like to make homeschooling and homemaking videos that hopefully are encouraging and helpful to you. But let's take a look at what we're going to be doing for preschool this year. Now, I'm a firm believer in Charlotte Mason's idea that formal lessons should not begin until your child is at least 6 years old. So we are not doing formal sit-down school with him. This is merely a look at what I'm going to have prepared for the days when he says, Mom, I really want to do school. Because sometimes he's very interested in it because he sees his sister doing school, which is to be expected. They do things together. He likes to be involved. 5 in a Row is a really cool curriculum that does great unit studies. It's very Charlotte Mason focused, and a lot of families really like it and use it in their elementary years. I have never done anything other than the preschool stuff that they have. So they have Before 5 in a Row, and then another one called More Before 5 in a Row. For those of you who are not familiar with 5 in a Row, how it works is that you read the same book for 5 days in a row. So Monday through Friday, you would read the same book, and then each day you would do a different activity with that book. And so the idea is that the repetition helps kids learn the story well. It helps them learn language well because they're getting that repetitious pattern. And at the same time, as you repeat it, the different activities that you're doing with them become easier because they understand the story better. So in the book, I basically went through, and they have it marked out, all the different books that you can do. And I just went through and marked which ones the library has and which ones we already own. And then wrote on the sticky notes and chose which activities we'll do for each of those books just to make life a little bit simpler. So let's take a look at their Goodnight Moon book. So Goodnight Moon, you can see my little sticker here. It's neat. It does a summary of the story. It has a Bible section. There's usually some kind of art section. There's different science things, memory things, introduction to nursery rhymes, storytelling, notes to the parents, math, that kind of stuff. So there's lots of activities that you can do, and it explains them in pretty good detail. So with Goodnight Moon, I went through and picked out, okay, we're going to do these Bible verses. We're going to do the science activity they have. We're going to do math shapes, use this puzzle that I've got. We're going to practice vocabulary, and then we're going to do the memory activity that they have. And so it's pretty basic with how it goes together with that. Now, one thing that they do in Before 5 in a Row and More Before 5 in a Row is they talk a lot about animals and classification and stuff for science. So they have these great resources at the back of the books that you can copy and print out. So I copied a whole bunch of animal ones and just laminated them so that way the kids have them and can use them for their classification games. And some of them are I just did blank ones because I was like, this way they can draw on it if they would like to. Like I said, though, these are really beautiful illustrations. I love the pictures on them. And so the science things are fun. So it's like, hey, we can practice, if we have read a handful of books that have these different animals in it, okay, let's go through and which ones have feathers, which ones have 4 legs, which ones would live in the water, and you can kind of help kids start learning very basic concepts like that. It's really a very gentle introduction to a lot of concepts, which is what I like about Before 5 in a Row. It's not super heavy in any of it. One thing that I really like that 5 in a Row does is they create these little maps that go with their books that are so pretty. And I just bought them from the website when I got the curriculum, and they came laminated in this beautiful watercolor and everything. And it's an idea that you introduce your kids to geography using these. What you would do is you would read the story with your kids of what happened or what they were doing, and then you match the story disc that they have. You can get them like this. You match these little story discs that relate to the stories, and you would put them at the right spot in the book or on the map. So for instance, with Goodnight Moon, if I remember, it's one of these houses is the Goodnight Moon house. And so this is the Goodnight Moon story disc. And so after you do the activity and you've rowed 5 in a row, you have your kid put it on the map there. I just did little Velcro dots on the back so you can see, so that way they're little sticky ones. So I just did Velcro dots, and it's the idea that it introduces them to places on a map and the idea of geography, which I think is really fun. You can buy these story discs pre-colored, or you can just copy them black and white out of the back of the book. I just copied them black and white, colored them in with colored pencil, and then laminated them and added the Velcro dots. Hopefully that gave you some really good ideas about kind of our gentle approach to preschool that we'll be doing this next year, since, like I said, we're not a big fan of really rigorous or set in stone schooling with our kiddos till they at least turn 6. But hopefully that gave you some good ideas. Comment down below what your thoughts on preschool are and what you guys are doing, or if you have any questions. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.